on, Miss Prado?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me on PALMCAST.
Of course. What the hell? I love palm. I love a palm. I'm in the palm of your hand. I'm in the palm of your hand here.
Eh,
Yeah.
palm tree. Yeah, sometimes people ask me, like, do you want to make the logo like a palm of your hand, like a hand's a symbol? And I'm like, no, I love palm trees. Like, I fucking am a palm tree.
You're like, no, I'm talking about palm trees. I ain't talking about palm.
Like, high five.
Yeah, yeah. Word.
Yeah. But anyway, though, Prado, how you doing? It's been a year since I think we first connected. It's got to be
Yeah.
at least a year. Yeah, and a really cool mutual friend of ours, shout out Celestia, she put me in touch with you, and ever since then, I've just been, blown away by your music, and want to wish you congrats on the new EP, Prado Monroe.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been so long, and like just over that time period, I think like just so much has changed. Or I think I changed a lot over like the time period, even like a year. But 2020 was wild as fuck too. Like that no one expected, and it's gonna be 2 years from 2020, in like a couple months. So it's actually just wild to think about. And I'm literally sitting here like, what happened? Like, where am I? Who? Who am I? What is going on? And like EP dropped like a week ago. I'm really excited about it. I haven't really looked at stats. I'm really not the person to like check stats or anything. So I literally, I can tell you what's going on, honestly, but I just do my thing right now. I'm like, okay, fuck it. And like going hard on that and just promoting the tracks, like just letting everybody hear it. It's fun.
One thing I love about you is that your sound is so refined, and I think, alongside with the music, who you are is such a big role. Kind of tell me, Prado, growing up in Vancouver, you're of Afro-Colombian and indigenous descent. So, what was it like growing up in Vancouver and being you?
Growing up here was like really interesting because it's like a city where it's like really rich people and then really poor people. And we have like a crazy opioid crisis, which like wiped out or is a lot of the Aboriginal and Native like population here. So I grew up in like a co-op here that's like Native, and it's like, very community based. So just growing up was like always surrounded by people, like constantly surrounded, like just like doing like, and I remember like I built my studio in my bedroom in my house, and I just slept on my sofa because like we had so many people, like, or we lived like in a big family, and then like I didn't really have like my own space yet, and so I was just like, fuck, I need to like get to work. I want to get like moving on shit. Like I actually just want to work on music. And so like just carving out my bedroom. I didn't have a bed for like literally 2 years. I was like, I'm just gonna have a studio and then sleep on the sofa, like be a bum. And I don't know, but I like how I was raised. I was raised by a lot of like women and like, super strong, like feminist like types that are just like, what the fuck? Like, da, 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 da. Like they're all trucker mouths and shit. So like I was just never raised to be like quiet or like I talk too much. So and I talk too much. I'm like, fuck. And then and I'm a rambler as well. So
yeah, you can always count on strong women to like keep a good head on your shoulders. Because like I know from my mom, my godmother, my aunts, my like play aunties, like you can never go wrong like being around a lot of like strong women who vocalize their opinions.
Yeah, and vocalize like vocalize their opinions and vocalize like what's what. Like I genuinely think like women have so much experience. So I was just raised by like all that mentality, and I think now it's like reflected in in like who I am today. I'm like the same bitch. I'll just be like nah, 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 nah. And everyone's like, and everybody that meets me, they're like, your music is so refined, like it's so like up there and pretty and da, da, da. And then when they meet me, it's like and I'm like such a trucker, and I like yeah.
Yeah, I remember on the phone you was cussing. You didn't give a fuck. That's what I love. You was like, man, fuck these niggas. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this. I don't fucking know. Like, I can speak at like 100 miles per hour, especially if we're just me and you on the phone. Like, you're just gonna get like, bro. We were on the phone for like fucking 4 hours at least. I swear to God, because I know like at least 3 of those hours was me like just yelling at like just telling bullshit.
It was some bullshit though. But hey, I wanted to go back. I learned something just now that I didn't know about Vancouver. The opioid crisis. When you were coming up, were you exposed to any of that? Like seeing people struggle with drug abuse problems and seeing addicts and things as peers?
Yeah, I honestly like it's so embedded like in the scene here, like and just everywhere, like everyone's always doing ketamine or like fucking it's actually fucked. Like I got offered ketamine like 2 days ago, literally, and I was like, no, I'm not doing horse strength class. And you know, like the heroin epidemic, like a lot of like my family members like struggled like really bad with heroin addiction. And that shit is just ugly. Like it's just fucking, it's like I think even now still there's some people in my family who've been on it for like 15, 20 years. So they'll never get off of it. I literally just I've like accepted that like some people just like choose that kind of thing, or like, you know, they haven't found the right help or like mental issues. There's a lot at play, especially like in somewhere like Vancouver and like the downtown east side, like especially just like has so many cases like that. And only now we're starting to see like all my friends work in like harm reduction and like, you know, they all work like in a lot of like activism or like community stuff. And so that's, I guess, what I was taught like through, like when I was younger, I was always, my dad was like, oh my God, like he took me to Hastings and he was like driving up like alleyways in Hastings and he was like, see, this is what heroin is. This is what heroin does to you motherfuckers. Like, see these motherfuckers walk around like zombies? Because there's just a whole bunch of them. Like, they're just everywhere. So he'd be like, oh, it's fucking zombie land down here. Like, motherfuckers, da-da-da. Like, trying to tell me, like, you know, not to do drugs. And then in high school and, like, after that, like, finding more people that are, like, just, you know, actually invested in those communities and, like, care about the Aboriginal community and, like, actually don't call the cops and, like, just do their shit. So, yeah, that's what I know of that at the very least. Yeah.
I see. So let's talk about some more like music origins. You know, growing up in a multicultural household, what kind of music was played around you that, you know, kind of sparked your interest at first?
Really, I grew up with so much like salsa and bachata from my dad, and then like hip hop and rock from my mom, and like some country too. Like we really would listen to everything. Like, and my parents, my dad loves Fetty Wap. Like he loves like you know, like I really grew up in a household where like music is like encouraged and like and from a young age, like I always loved music. They always like saw that like I was more receptive to like video games and music, like more than TV or anything. Like I was like 2 years old playing like PlayStation because I like knew how to use the buttons and shit. And like I could I went to different concerts when I was like from when I was like 2 was like my first concert that my parents like brought me to, like a children's show concert. And then like up until I was like 14, which is like my first real like rap show, which was like Nas. And like I was one of the only like maybe one of the only black bitches in the whole thing. I was so surprised. I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm in Vancouver, so like there's so many white people. I was like, oh my God. And like but he noticed me like at that show. And so just over time, like all those influences, like I got to experience like so many different shows. Like I went to Joan Jett here too. Like I really love to see all the rock and all that shit too.
Yeah, I could definitely tell that Joan Jett like probably sparked some ideas for you. For sure.
Oh yeah, Joan Jett, fucking like Courtney Love was like big. Whitney Houston was like huge to me. I still, even to this day, I'm like, I cut my hair because Whitney Houston cut her hair.
I gotta show you the pic of my dad with Whitney Houston.
Oh my God, they got a picture together. Oh my God, my fucking queen. I can't believe that she's gone. Like I love her so much. I'm literally like I'm still obsessed with Whitney
It's
Houston.
it's actually an awkward moment in my pops with Whitney Houston because I think Clive Davis is in the picture, like telling my dad to like move out the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like move the fuck out of the way, and your dad's just like trying to get his
Yeah.
picture.
But yo, you said one of your first rap shows was Nas, right? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Nas was one of my first rap shows too.
Yeah, I was obsessed. Like, and it was I think it was like the Illmatic tour
Yeah.
in like 2014, 13, like the like documentary like that he made with it.
Yeah.
It was like a documentary and a show, and like I was like all for that. I was like, yes, like that is sick. Because after I thought, bitch, after that movie, like with like 20 minutes before that shit, I'm running to the front, bro. I'm sitting at the front of that motherfucking shit, and y'all about to sit there and watch that movie. And then right at the end of the movie, everybody like ran to the fucking front because then Nas comes out and he like does a show, which I think is like so sick. Like it's just a big reveal.
I think I saw him. We're a few years apart, but I think I saw him in 2008 at Rock the Bells for the first time.
Okay, where?
Yeah, then like I think was it that year that he dropped the self-titled album with that song? They say we N-I double G-E-R.
Yeah. No, literally, he's been fucking monumental in music, like my whole fucking upbringing. Like I deadass used to rap that. I used to be like so into boom bap too, where I was like, I want to be a spitter, like I want to be fire, and then now I'm like, what? Yeah. I'm like, what?
I could tell. Yeah, Prado had that little like street corner cipher vibe in the early days.
Yes, the Prado cipher vibes. No. Oh my god. Yeah, back in the day, fuck.
For sure. So how'd you start doing music? I know there was that stretch of time where you were rocking as Lil Kanye.
Yeah, Lil Kanye, Alien Kanye. So where did I start doing music? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Alien Kanye on Twitter and on SoundCloud. I was Alien Kanye, and I just started putting out stuff and like writing for some different people, and then I had like A&Rs in my emails, but I didn't know what A&Rs were. Like I didn't know anything about the industry, so I was literally just getting like dicked around a lot, or just I wasn't replying to emails either. Who gave a fuck? I was literally like, I'd send them the song like just as it is, and I'd be like, anyway, like let me know, like toodaloo, like enjoy, like bye, like that's literally it. Like I would not even understand that like this could possibly like do anything for me. And so I just started out very like stupid, and I just started producing more, and like over just the past couple of years, just not releasing so I can like actually get a product I liked, like, you know, because I was like, I don't know who I'm gonna be yet, but then over this like time period, I'm happy that like it grew out of like Alien Kanye to like Lil Kanye, and then it went to like Prado, and then now I'm like Prado Monroe. Like, and everyone's pissed. They're like, why do you keep changing your name? And I'm like, I'm gonna stop. I think this is it. So I'm like, I just wanted a last name, like Jesus. Like I just like two names. I don't like one name. So now I have to go from Prado to Prado Monroe, which is gonna piss everybody off. But also my first EP is called Prado Monroe, so I'm kind of like, who cares?
Hey, do you? So how did you come up with the name Prado?
It's my last name. It's actually my last name, and then Monroe. Like I heard that it was like Montoya. Is like a name on my dad's side of the family, and then I was like Montoya, I was like Monroe, like ooh, like Prado Monroe, and then yeah, and I just think a lot of people always be like, oh, you have like a very like glamorous like thing about you, and I'm like, okay, like that's cute. I'll run with it. So Prado Monroe, yeah.
Prado Monroe, yeah, it sounds so elegant.
Yeah, it's like and it's just juxtaposition.
I don't think I ever knew. What's your first name?
Bonita.
Yeah, that now I remember.
Yeah. You remember my first name. Yeah, Bonita. Yeah,
damn. Well, let's dive into some of the meat of like what is the Prado Monroe EP. First of all, I've had this on repeat for the past week. And you know, consider that very, very special, you know, because when my favorite artist, Tyler the Creator, drops an album the same week, it's like wow, you know, to have your EP in there next to Tyler on my playlist is like saying something for sure.
No, I'm very thankful. Thank you for listening. Yeah, I literally like you heard some of it before it
Yeah,
came
I
out.
did.
And I like sent it to you because I was like, what do you think? What do you think? What is the 411? But it's so fucking, it feels so good to see it like in a format. Like, and I'm just happy like it's not in singles. Like I just don't want to do a single ever again. I'm
No,
like, can I just do an out like can I just do projects? Like I'm sick of I would maybe do like 2 more singles, but like that shit is fucking trash. I just want to have a place where it's all there. Like
no, I definitely prefer projects to singles because it gives me like a chance to look at like a body of work.
mm,
As far as the EP goes, now I'll skip around with these, but Men in Black.
mm.
You know, did the Will Smith movie inspire you to take it off and just do your own thing with that, or how did that one come about?
Men in Black, like that, it was honestly just it rhymed. Like I literally wrote it in, yeah, I was in LA and my friend, we were on the phone talking about this New Year's Eve party we had where we invited these guys. One of them spilled a drink on her J's. And then we were like just really upset about it. Everybody was like, what the fuck? Like, da, 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 da. And we got them into the club, but like they were like not like they weren't even, they had no plans. Like we just like were all generous enough to like invite them out to this like bomb ass party and everything before the Rona. And then literally I went back to LA and we're just on the phone together, me and my friend, and then we're like, Men in Black, like none. We're like, no, they're fucking sluts. Like all those guys are just sluts. Like, dude, fuck it. Like, don't listen to them. They're fucking sluts. Like all those men, they're just sluts. And then I was like, men being sluts. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then just the melody came to mind, and my producer Franco, like, he already had like that beat already done, but I was like just sang the melodies on top. Like I was like, man, na 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 na, and then we like got it into the studio and just like tweaked it, and it wasn't even that crazy, but that was probably the easiest song to make. I think that song was done in like 2 days, maybe. It wasn't even really a lot because in my brain I was just thinking like, don't reply. Like I was honed in. I was like calculated with a lot of the moves on that record, and I'm just happy with how it turned out, honestly. Like
Yeah,
I'm really happy with the sound of it. It's like super Ariani, but like really like hip hop at the same time. Yeah.
yeah, that melody is just unforgettable. And like, speaking of unforgettable, don't you wish like the real Men in Black could just pull up with their little forget me
But,
thing and just forget that whole experience with those douchebags?
I'm not fucking with you. That was like one of the biggest influences was we saw that meme of that guy and he's like, you know that guy, and he's like the fuck, or he's like okay or whatever, and then with like it has like a cross, like he has like a cross in front of him or whatever. Like he literally put the fucking Men in Black like thing because I was like, I don't want to remember. I'm like, I want to forget. I haven't met people. Like I don't care. And I was running away to LA at the time too, so I was like, I want to forget. I was like, don't reply. I was like, don't reply. Just fucking. I was like, kill him. Kill him.
Yeah, and then when you get to LA, you got to put your stunner shades on. So like,
yeah, that's like, exactly. That was exactly.
So you won't get blinded by the shit.
Right. That's exactly.
Sure.
I'm happy it came across.
Yeah. Now the opening track, Steven, love that song. And it's a reference to Stephen Harper, which I learned about in your Underground Underdogs interview. So the former Prime Minister of Canada, when I was listening to it, my ignorant ass, I didn't know the whole backstory. I thought you were talking about like Steven's Universe, the cartoon character. but yeah, so tell me about that one. I mean,
I guess like Steven is just, it's honestly just the track of like liberation. Like I think about it and I'm like, it's my like thesis statement. Like, it's like I'm stating all the shit like now, like, because I feel like for a while as an artist, like I want them to know where I'm coming from. So Steven was like that song where it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck if like the fucking government, fuck the church and fuck the state, first and foremost. So, like pulled up to Sunday school, like I told the preacher too, like I've been sweet, like I've been sweet too long, like I've been chilling too long. I've been like, I want to show that like there's real like liberation in these tracks for me, and like that's why then just through the music like itself, like just being able to like go into the booth and like even the ending part, like where everybody's waiting for me to come back with like some genius idea for the ending, and then I just came back and I was like, bad bitches, bad bitches. Like that's all I did the whole time. I was like, bad bitches. And I was just going, and everyone was like, what? And I was like, I want to make it sound like, and there's like a real great lift in the song too, like at certain choruses. And I just wanted to drill it in that it's like, no, I don't give a fuck if you like me. I really do not give a fuck if you like me. Like, this is all subjective to you. I don't give a fuck if, like, I'm still gonna keep my life going. Like, I was born an ice queen. Like, that's literally it. I just that's literally the opening line, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I said what I said. And that's Steven for me, like solely. And that's like my favorite song. I'm so happy that was my first record to like ever drop because it's my favorite. It's my favorite.
That bad bitches chant on the Echo outro is almost like, you know, a battle cry.
Yeah, it is. It's us like just going like you know, bad bitches never wait, like bad bitches never stay, like get the fuck up. I'm like, get the fuck up, bitch, like hurry the fuck up, because
right,
that's how I feel.
Right on. Also in that same UU interview, you went on to say that Stephen, the former prime minister, like doesn't really do much or do anything about how Indigenous women are often victims of homicide the most
and
in Canada. So can you speak on that?
It's literally just the sheer fact that, you know, Stephen Harper and even the like new prime ministers and everything, like even with the children's bodies being found, like now, and I'm not fucking with you. Like I actually did some research that Kevin Annett did in like the 90s. And he's like a guy from here that's been like pioneering the kind of residential school, like digging up the bodies and like finding what happened to like Native people in general. And you know, and like why we got into the systematic shit. And it's literally because the government is covering up like their own genocide, and they don't want to take the, like they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They genuinely like will not give a shit about this, and they keep shifting the blame to like the church and to the state back and forth. And when in reality it's like they're both the murderers. Like, why are we making the murderers do the fucking why are we making the murderers the investigators? You know what I'm saying? So just speaking to that, like I just wanted to drill down that, like, you know, Stephen Harper, Stephen Harper, these political figures, like it gets any Stephen, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a real broad term for like a lot of these people that have brought down and and are continuing the genocide, honestly, by you know, just not showing support, ignoring the fact that there's literally there's hundreds of thousands of missing Aboriginal women actually, like across the world, that like actually just go missing out of their communities. And you know, it's a fucking huge issue that's like systematically installed into us so fucking young. And when you go into like rural BC, like I know you're not from here, so like it's kind of hard to understand, or like a lot of this is very like
I'm learning a lot right now,
words or whatever. But you know, in the rural parts of BC, there's in a lot of like these like in reservations or like outskirt towns, they're all like white, and they only have like, they're mostly white like people and just the indigenous like native land that's there. And on those native reserves there's like 2 liquor stores, like there'll be like all liquor stores, and like no resources for these people. They're all living in like houses that are like, you know, going under and shit because the government doesn't give a fuck. When someone goes missing, like most of the time, like now there's like a native police that you can call instead of calling the actual police, because the police will not do shit when native people go missing. And it's been happening. There's still so many women that went missing over 2022. So I'm literally like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is a big fucking issue. There's so much, like it's literally beyond my fucking jurisdiction. But that's what I wanted to you know, when people ask me like, oh, Steven, about like who's Steven, and I'm like, Steven is the biggest thing. Like I literally laid it out. Like I said the thing about the church. I said the thing about about Steven. I said I don't really give a fuck if they like me, because they never really cared. No one really ever, like, you know what I mean? Like they never actually give a fuck in the first place. So I don't give a fuck if they approve of it or don't. And censorship
Facts.
in Canada is crazy too. Like motherfuckers, they were like, people won't even let me smoke a blunt in the video.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like everything's grant ran over here, so everything's like government funded.
Yeah, I forget what the weed situation is like in Canada. You know, the joke always here in the States is like when shit gets ugly, particularly with like racism, it's, oh, I'm moving to Canada. But racism's worldwide, you know, it's just so fucked up and hurtful.
Yeah, and also like the people that come to Canada to like evade racism are like a part of the racism.
How
Because they're
so?
just you know what I mean? Like they're gonna come in and just like move to Canada and be like, fuck racism, like it's over now, like I'm free, like that's bullshit. Like there's still so many struggling families like here, and just people, and you know, luckily Vancouver and Toronto like are pretty diverse, but like the rest of Canada's a fucking racist. Bro, I fucking went to Regina. I was just walking down the street in Regina, like I was there for literally 3 hours in Regina, Saskatchewan, in the most gay part of the town, first and foremost. And I'm walking across the street and this truck drives by and they're like, niggers, 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 like all like, bruh, in Canada. That's why I'm like, y'all motherfuckers, you better go to Toronto or Vancouver, because y'all obviously don't know the rest of Canada, and y'all obviously don't know Native people or know anything about that kind of shit. Even there was a Native lady I was helping out yesterday because she ran out her house. We were on the res, and she ran out of her house naked, like actually naked. She was like off something, and then we had to walk her back to her house. But even her, she was like, fucking niggers, like I just ain't gonna blah, blah, blah. And I was like, of course. I was like,
on the res?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's life like on the res? Can you like briefly describe that? Because
I don't live on the res. Like I live on the like in the Aboriginal housing that's like in the city.
Okay.
So like it's a little different, but the res is like there's a couple of reservations like up north and like in North Van, and all of the policies on that are very like weird and tight because they consider some Native people like status Indian, and then some like not status Indian, like depending on like your lineage. But the real matter of the fact is literally Canada back in 1910, these motherfuckers, when they would take like an Indigenous family and they would put the kids into residential school and take them away from their families, they would change all of their names. Like so there's like 5 kids in a family, they'd all get a different last name. And it would be like a last name that was like mocking them, or like you know, like a weird last name. And so no one really like technically that culture and all that shit is like you can't quantize any of that shit anymore because you know, and honestly, like, and most people that I think are Native or like that I am like, yeah, you're a fucking Native person, or people that grew up around me that like are in the community, like, you know what I mean, like people that actually understand or like are from the res, or like from a res or from a place. Like my mom's from where the North End in Winnipeg. So that's, if anybody knows like where that is or can Google it, you'll know like where the fuck she's from. So that's literally it. That's literally all I have to say on the matter. I love Aboriginal people. Yesterday I was at an event where all the Aboriginal people, or just my friends, like thing where, you know, they have all the Aboriginal people there, and I was like, holy fuck, like God bless, like we're all fucking here and alive, and like we exist. Oh my God. Yeah. So sorry, don't let me rant about this shit too long, I swear. Anyway.
No, you good. You good. This is PALMCAST. Hey, so the Elastic music video, sorry to change the subject back.
Don't worry.
But the Elastic music video, I felt like I was just in thick booty heaven watching that one. So tell me, what was it like making it?
It was my first like real video shoot, and it was with like Mo from Crack Cloud. He like directed it, and I honestly was so blessed that like Mo even like agreed to do it because he knew Zach, and like I just honestly told him like, we have a garage full of cars, and I just want to invite a whole bunch of bad bitches out to shake their ass. Like I was like, I don't really have any others. Like I was like, we'll make choreo, we'll do like things, but like this should be energy. Like I need to see like full pump energy like at all times, and then like you just edit it together. That was literally what like the instructions, and I think like he nailed it like to the fucking T. I didn't even have like edits. I didn't have edits really. Like it came in like that, and I was like, oh my God, because the song is so long. I was like, how is he gonna do this? And it was just so much fun to make. Like all the girls in it, like I'm still actually said one of them, like I'm still friends with everybody, and like everybody loves the record, and like we're just so honestly proud to be a part of something that's like, I don't know, such a bop. Like I didn't even realize it was such a good song until until it was out. Honestly, I remember being like, oh yeah, like this cute little record, and then now like I'm just so thankful that like the DJs fuck with it. And like I literally did a set the other day, and people were like on the fucking live stream being like, play Elastic, and I was like, dude, I don't even have it on my USB, like bro, like I'm sorry. And they're like, play Elastic, and I'm like, so.
Oh man, yeah, that's a slapper for sure. So, Prado, when it comes to your production, I think it just goes hand in hand and fits beautifully with your voice. Do you produce yourself, or do you have like a designated producer or producers?
I either start things myself, or like I go to like Franco, or like Franco or Zach, like and just really like I think there's only 2 or 3 other people that like I trust to like do stuff with. I'm starting to branch out a little more now, because like, you know, people want to work and stuff. So I'm like game if it's fire. But yeah, most of the time it was just us starting it. Like I'm had the ideas like for Gucci Store, and I came to my engineer with like a lot of these songs done, and just like ready to go. And like they were in the vault like for a while. So I'm just happy that they're just out. I'm like, fuck, like, and the process was just like I wrote Like Line when I was like 17, and then like I wrote the second verse when I was like 19, and then like I'm 22 and now it came out.
Yeah, Gucci Store is an anthem for sure. I mean, that line, hop about that thing like I'm Regina George, like classic reference. I used to love Mean Girls, so.
Yeah, no, I literally was at a 7-Eleven with are you gonna go answer your phone? Yeah, there you go. Go answer your phone. Yeah, the phone ringing. Go out. Telemarketer.
Anyway, telemarketer as fuck. I'm like, we should get rid of the fucking house phone for real.
Yeah,
like all they do is call bullshit.
I'm like, it's a telemarketer.
Yeah, I literally just use a house phone to like, if I misplace my cell phone, just to call it.
Yeah, weird. Yo, honestly, yeah, we have a house phone. I forget it exists, and I always try to like call people on, and I'm like, I'm gonna call people on my house phone. But yeah, Gucci Store. Like, I was literally at the 7-Eleven like near my house, and I always have to live next to a 7-Eleven. Like, I need 7-Eleven in my life. Like, I'm sorry.
Same.
Like,
I hit 7-Eleven and like corner stores so much. Probably spent so much fucking money.
Yeah, I need it though. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna spend all my money. My 7-Eleven points are like to the roof, and literally, like, so I go in there and I pulled up in my brother's like really sick new whip. Like, he had just like a brand new. I don't even remember what. I think it was some sort of Hellcat. It was like real fucking nice, and it was just like gangster. And I pulled up to the thing, and I pulled up to 7-Eleven, and all these boys from my high school were on their bikes. And they like were on bikes, and they were waiting outside the 7 with like their bikes to the done. They see me like pull up in this nice ass car, and I literally was like, "Oh my god!" And like one of the guys in the group was like, "Oh my god, Prado! Like, Bonita, you're going crazy! Like, look at that shit! Like, oh, you're doing so well in music." And and I remember like feeling like the biggest capper because I was like working a job and like just and like honestly just having like a lazy ass time and like not doing shit. And this was like 2 years ago, maybe, or like maybe even 3 now. And we literally were like I left that situation and I was like, all right, next time they see me up at the corner store, I'll hop out of my job like I'm Regina George. Like, that is literally what I will do. Like, I want to flex on them, but I want it to be real. I want it to be like actual real. Like, that was not enough because it felt like lies. Like, I was literally like, like, I was like, this ain't even my car, baby. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's like, it's a classic hood flex because it's like, it's not like you're pulling up to the after party. It's like, nah, nigga, I'm pulling up to 7-Eleven. Like,
exactly.
Hop out, give me a Slurpee. Like,
I like got back into my car. I was like, bye guys, like have fun on your bikes.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Now, I look back on your Instagram and I saw a picture of you behind the counter at McDonald's. I was gonna ask you, have you ever worked 9 to 5? But well, 1, have you, and 2, was the McDonald's thing a real gig for you?
Yeah, bro, I worked at McDonald's Metrotown. That shit's only for, and if anybody's from Vancouver, like McDonald's Metrotown is like the worst McDonald's. I mean, it doesn't have a drive-through, but I was a late night shift like worker. So I dead ass would go to like, and I worked all through my high school. Like I literally had like a 9 to 5 like my whole life. I think the only time I stopped working was like maybe 2 years ago. And I haven't worked a job since. Not saying I'm above it. I honestly like I've done a lot of work. And I will continue. Honestly, if someone was like, "Do you want money to do this?" I'd be like, "Yeah." I'm like, I'm just that person. But fucking McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's. I worked as a receptionist. And now I don't want to be a receptionist because I got a hand tattoo because I'm like,
Yeah.
but
I did that too, receptionist for sure.
yeah, I was a receptionist. I was like a cleaning lady. I was a manager. I did like a lot of different shit until I worked in warehouses a lot, like factories. I worked at Lush. I did so much fucking shit because I was just like, I want to make paper. And like I never really got up like through that whole time period actually. Like I never actually did. I spent all my money like going to LA. I'm like, I spent all my money going to LA. It really didn't do. That's why I'm like, no, I honestly think if people don't ever get mad at like spending your money fucked up because like we're all so young and like they're not paying us enough like at all. So anyway.
Nah, for real. What's money if you can't like spend it on what you want?
Yeah, and also like enjoy your life. Like anybody, all these rich people always tell you like, oh, like it's sacrifice, like it's sacrifice, it's hard work and it's sacrifice. It's like no, because their sacrifice is a lot fucking easier than your sacrifice, than a lot of people's fucking sacrifice. So no, let these motherfuckers, if you want to go to Starbucks and get a $6 fucking drink, nobody's gonna tell you what the fuck to do with your money, like period. Exactly.
You can't see it in the green screen, but yeah, here's my large iced coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Get your fucking shit because like enjoy your life. Like you're not gonna, and honestly, my mom always told me, and this is why I had a lot of jobs too. And my mom was like a real G for this, but she was like, fuck the job. You have one fucking life. Like at the end of the day, I remember my mom was pulling me out of work to like go fuck off. Like she was dead. I was like, oh, like who cares? Like the job will be there tomorrow. They're not gonna fire your ass. Like it's gonna be there. Like take one day off. If you feel like not doing something, don't fucking do it. Like find other ways. And I was like, okay, so that mentality, like, you know, I'll never fucking shit on anybody for like being broke and being like, oh, I want to get this and da da da. Yeah, you should be a fucking dreamer. That's period. Like, what the fuck? And fuck anybody that's like, oh, it's a sacrifice. Like, for you, like their sacrifices ain't that crazy if they're saying that, for sure.
Yeah, for real. Your mom is really a G for that.
Yeah, and making me not go to college. She was like
that. That was actually my next question. Did you go to college or university?
No. Maybe I'll go one day for like horticulture. I want to go for horticulture maybe. Or like something that or like English literature, like something I really like that would like settle me down. I think like,
maybe a degree isn't your thing, but like taking classes on something you're interested in is.
Yeah, I don't think I was ever gonna be like I feel like I would honestly let it go to my head, like for real. Like if you all catch me with a degree like in the next couple of years, like if anything switches up, like I'm literally gonna be like I'm gonna be like, yeah, and I have my degree. Like what the fuck do you guys have? Like, you know what I mean? But and honestly, no one in my family went to college. And no one really graduated high school. Like I was the first one to graduate high school too.
Oh wow.
So literally like university and shit like that. I didn't have money saved for that either. So I'm like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's not, no. That's not a viable option. And I literally just recently found out how student loans work. That shit is a trap. That shit is a scam. Holy fuck.
Welcome to my life. Oh god.
That shit is a scam. I literally can't believe that the motherfuckers like are trying to tell people education is the fucking like key and is the fucking thing. And then rob the American people, like rob American students every fucking day. Like, no. And that's why I'm like, if I was gonna go to school, I would have went to school in America too, because I want to get the fuck out of this country. So I wasn't gonna go to no like McGill or like Quebecois school. Like I don't speak French. So I was like, I ain't going there, I ain't going nowhere around there. And I was like, I want to get to the States, but I'm so happy I never took out like a student loan and like did all that kind of shit. It like really pains me. I watched so many videos on it, like, and I was just like, is fraud, like this is illegal, like no, this should not be okay. Literally everybody that has a student loan should be a drug dealer.
It's great learning experience, but like at great cost.
Yeah, no, learning experience, great like depressing experience. Like, no. And I know people that are still like, and my answer to that shit is run, bro. Like, I feel like I couldn't even pay that shit back. I'd be like, I'm leaving the country. Like, I know about y'all, but I'll literally be like, fuck that shit. I'll be like, I'm changing my name. That shit is in the past. Like, what the fuck? That people racked up like 80K in fucking student like loans trying to become a doctor. Crazy. And then work off the rest of the other like shit after it doubles. No.
Different strokes for different folks.
Unheard of.
That's all I gotta say. So Prado, let me ask you this. Who would you like to collaborate with? Artists, producers, anybody, directors and such?
There's like 2 directors out in LA that I really want to collab with one day. And then I have, and I think one of them, I totally forget her name right now, but she's this girl in LA who's making like a really amazing films, and she's from Vancouver here. And then obviously there's like, I think this guy who made the Tropico film by Lana Del Rey, like I think he made that. And I literally was just looking at like Lana Del Rey's videos, and also her latest one, like the chemtrails, like, oh, that's like my dream music video. California dreaming about a place I used to go. So like for my next project, that would be like my dream to work with that guy, whoever the fuck did that. And then and I can't afford that shit, honestly, but at the same time, I'm be like, girl, if I hit it big on some shit, I'm gonna use that nigga all day. And then I want to work with like Arca, Shy Girl.
Shy Girl, yeah. I can see you doing some dope shit with her. I like her.
Yeah, I want to work with like Doja Cat. I want to work with like Pink Pantheress. I want to work with like all these alternative bitches that I think like, and I just like my album literally came out, said alternative rap, which like I really appreciate the title, because like just in that kind of alternative space of like artists and like women and like everybody, I think I want to work with the people like that are pioneering that kind of sound, because like that's my sound. I think I'm like in my, like for once I feel like now I'm actually recognizing my lane, so I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay, good. I just want to push that. I want to forward that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when you have such a sound unique like yours, how would you describe that?
I would describe it as like very
theatrical. Like if you had to give yourself a genre, what would that genre be?
Theatrical. Probably theatrical. It's very like I don't know. I feel like whenever I go into the mic or anything, like I'm putting on like I go in there and it's kind of like, and everybody always says this like when I record, but like I get it done really quick, but it's because I feel like I just put on like a caricature of what I'm saying. Like my words have to like have effect. So I want to like, you know, like even in Gucci store where like I ran out of breath, like when I'm like, but bitch, I can spell GLA, and I'm like singing it like that, but it's like that's the cadence of it. So I don't know, theatrical. I say theatrical pop. I'd be like, and that might sound corny, but like I feel like I make it good. So
I like it. So have you ever thought about being an actress?
An actress? Yo, I don't know why I keep getting this question. I love going on TV. I don't care what anybody says. I hate cameras. I hate the fact that like, no, I really do. Like, I can't believe anybody would want to film my ass. Like, I see myself on film and I'm like, I want to kill myself. Like, do not put me on any fucking TV whatsoever. Like, I feel like I'm like, no, and I'm the type of person, like, this is why I could never have a podcast or anything, because I feel like I'm gonna get my ass canceled for sure. So it's just gonna be a caricature. It's just gonna be a joke. Like, I can't be acting on TV and shit like that. That shit would, and then y'all can't, like, if this interview, y'all keep this. And then if I see me on TV, you can put them side by side and me contradicting myself. But if the
I don't know why I find this response so amusing.
No, if the fucking bag was correct, oh, best believe I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm an actress now. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'll help. I'll lose weight for the role. I don't care. I literally, if the bag was correct, you know, I want them Brad Pitt bags though. What the fuck? Niggas getting like $5 million a fucking movie. If someone giving me $5 million movie, I'm about to be like, oh, okay, serious game time. You know what I mean? But girl, like, what the fuck? They gonna cast my ass to some bullshit. They're gonna be like, so I want good roles.
Yeah, Prado can't start with no bit part. Can't be no like supporting cast member, no extra on some murder mystery shit. You gotta be like,
I think I'm gonna be like I either want to be like a strong female lead, Rizzo in Hairspray, or fucking like I don't know, I just don't, or a villain or something. I don't want to be like a boring, like I don't.
A villain for sure. I can see that.
Yeah, you know, I think I could do something like actually like I could use something good, but if they're gonna cast me as like a funny fat black best friend number 3, like I'm just gonna be like I have to make a joke, like I'm gonna cry. So unless it's a cameo, like unless they're like, oh, you're Prado and like you're in this, and I like show up, it's like Entourage, yeah.
I used to watch Entourage.
Yeah, I used to watch Entourage, and then I was like, I hate men. I was like, I turned that shit off. I was like, fuck, these guys are so annoying. I don't even care about how hot the lead guy is. He's even hot to me. After that show, after I watched like 3 episodes, I was like, he ain't even that hot. Turn it off. Yeah.
No doubt. Now I gotta know who's in Prado's top 5 dead or alive.
Oh my God, dead or alive? Oh my God. Amy Winehouse. Brittany Spears.
Free Brittany.
Free my bitch Brittany all day, every day. I've been saying. And Whitney Houston. Girl, who else is in my top? M.I.A.
I can see the M.I.A. influence totally.
I love M.I.A. That's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And you know what? Controversial as fuck, but Azealia Banks. Azealia Banks. I think all those women are so monumental to this whole industry. Fuck everybody. I don't care. I want to see the collabs. I love the craziness. I'm here for it. I would literally, if Azealia Banks like literally was like, Bonita, you're a fat Lizzo, like you're fucking disgusting, your music is gross, you fat ugly cunt, I'm gonna be like, I love you. I'm gonna be like, notice me, like that's literally all I'm gonna say, because like all I have is like honest. I think her voice is incredible. I think she could have made it so big, but you know, forces that maybe.
I think she found her lane as a hater and less of like a, you know, musician, less of an entertainer and just more like a.
I think she's such a great entertainer though. Like genuinely, I literally am like, what the fuck? She should have way more. Like her albums are like, she's a huge rap artist. And also, another top 5 is Nicki Minaj. Throw her in there because she's actually the queen of rap, and like all of those rap bitches, and Meg Thee Stallion. So that's George after too.
Going back to that UU interview, they said 2 of your influences were Lana Del Rey and Chief Keef, and I was like, you know what? As polarizing as those 2 are, I totally get it.
Yeah, and also Chief Keef, like, yeah, also a GOAT, like top 5 in the GOATs. He probably won't even be like happy to. I'm actually happy that all the men that are in my top 5 would be like, what am I doing next to all these bitches? And I'd be like, what does it mean? What does it mean? Discover what that means for yourself. Discover what that means for yourself. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
No doubt.
I just want to taunt them. That's all.
All right. Just a couple more before we get up on out of here. What's Prado's message behind the music?
The message behind the music is just like freedom, liberation, true like just people values that like I have over like materialistic values. I think like it's all very juxtaposition, and like I appreciate that. And so my message is just like, you know, live your fucking life, have fun with your life, and be unapologetic like in the stuff that you do. And that's it.
Beautiful. I love it. Unapologetic in the stuff that you do. Very dope. We'll take one question from Twitter. Celestia asked, what is your morning and night skin routine? Because the skin is glowing, girl.
What? Yo, you know, it's actually fucked. This is just like a ghetto foundation, but my skin routine is, I honestly used to have really bad like cystic acne, so I've tried everything on this earth, and I would love to do skincare one day. That's also a really big thing that I really want to do, because all I use is like soap, water, and a fucking like glycolic based soap. If you have acne or anything, anybody, do not use Black African soap. Do not use anything these motherfuckers are telling you. Benzoyl peroxide, stay away. Literally glycolic soap. So any soap that is a glycol based soap is going to deeply clean your skin up to like the healthiest point it can, because it won't dry you out, and it's going to lock in a little bit of moisture from the water. So I use the glycolic soap, and it could be like a Neutrogena deep clean. If you go on the back, it'll just say like glycol base. That's literally what you want to find. And then that, and then I just use any type of moisturizer, but do not use like a deep moisturizer, like, because if your skin is dry, like, you don't want to train your skin for it to be fucked. So you need just like a very basic moisturizer. Jergens, motherfucking Cetaphil, like any fucking moisturizer that's just like real regular. Use some of that shit, and then in the nighttime, get a nighttime serum, and it should have some sort of like what is the word? Like a BHA in it, I think is the word, and it's literally just like a deep deep moisturizer, like, because in the nighttime your skin, you're like laying in your bed, you get all hot and shit like that. Is better for your skin to be like moisturized in those times. And you know, before you leave the house, like, just make sure that like you have some sort of like sunscreen or something, because I have a shit ton of like acne scars underneath like all of this that are like, just, I don't know, and they're just like on my cheeks and shit like that, like just still there from like years of bad skin. So that's my skincare routine. I'm sorry that was very elaborate. I just have a lot to say about skin.
No, you're educating people out there, and I like the Cetaphil too. Been rocking with that one for a while.
Perfect.
All right, cool. Prado, anything else you want people to know about you? What else you got planned for 2021? Shows, more music. What's up?
Yeah, 2021, I'm gonna get going again. I'm really nervous to start doing shows and stuff, but I'm also very excited. So I just hope to see everybody soon, and that you guys keep listening. And thank you for taking the time to just like listen to this even, and to you know, show support, and that I love everybody out there, and I appreciate it so much.
Hell yeah, for sure. And last question I'm asking all the guests now going forward. You got any questions for me?
Any questions for you? What's your favorite song on the EP?
All of them, but I'll be slapping Steven a lot.
Okay, Steven.
All of them. Sometimes I play it in order, sometimes I'll play it on shuffle. Like all of them.
What's your least favorite?
I don't have a least favorite.
You don't have a least? I was like, what's your least favorite one? I'm like, what's the one you skip?
That would be like picking my least favorite child. No, they're yours. No, they're yours. But like,
there's only 6 of them, Bonita. Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. All
right, Prado, let them know where they can follow you and stream your music at.
You can follow me at Prado Monroe across everything, and it's just at Prado on Spotify or Apple, across every DSP. Just follow me on Instagram or pradomonroe.com even. There's lots of stuff. So keep in the loop, and yeah.
All right. Hey, Prado, thank you so much for coming on PALMCAST.
Of course.
Awesome. Much love. Can't wait to see you in LA.
Yeah, I literally can't wait to come down there. I'm planning already. I'm already trying to get down there. I'm like,
yep.
It's so hot. It's so hot out here.
Yeah, I just emceed a show last night. Shout out to my homegirl Vita Kari. She did a little showcase at her spot called Vita Wood. So yeah, we're back out there running and gunning again. So.
Yeah, I want to come down and see something. I'm literally like, and I've been like, this is like 3 years in the making. Like, I literally, all I wanted to do was come down and see what the fuck y'all got going on. So I'm really down, and I'm excited to pull through.
Yep, we back outside. But yeah, thank you, Prado. Everybody, this has been PALMCAST. My name is Dylan, but most of y'all just call me Palm. You can follow me at Dylan is Palm on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram and TikTok. Check it out at prettyawesomelitmusic.com, youtube.com/palmofficial, where you're watching right now. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Everybody, this has been Prado Monroe, everyone. Thank you.